Hello folks, welcome back to The Variety Shift. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Temple, also known as Sin Trophy Hunter on the PlayStation World.
And I am your other host, the ArtificialDragon, otherwise known as Isaac Zellman in real life. And unfortunately, our third co-host will not be attending tonight because, he's got extra work hours to fulfill. So we're just going to do our Halloween special without him.
Poor Gavin.
Hi, Gavin. I know you're listening to this. Anyway, so obviously by the title, it's a Halloween-themed episode, and we actually got ourselves pretty organized this time around. Unlike, previous episodes where we talk about random shit and all that. I have a list that I shared with Sean a couple of days ago, and I believe he has some things that he would like to talk about.
No, I got a few things, yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to kick off with what I've been up to today.
Yep.
And what I'd actually been up to since the last podcast. I got a few platinums, so I'm just going to put that out there.
Very cool.
Here comes the random shit.
Yep.
Right? So random shit. So my first platinum was the Sexy Brutal, and it was like a kind of a murder mystery type thing, kind of Cluedo type game. Really good.
Yeah, I remember watching a little bit on it, and I left on the train station mission, wasn't it? You were
no, yeah, that was that was
a different game.
That was the Raven.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a completely different game.
Yeah,
my bad.
That was Sexy Brutal was my 39th platinum.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay.
Then it was the Raven, and Raven was brilliant.
Hmm.
And that was the one that you kept coming in and out of, and everybody kept coming in and out of, and I was in the train, but one time I was in the train and it was burning.
Oh.
And then when people come back, the train's not burning. So something's obviously happened in between the game and stuff like that. So I had to explain that the Raven is a really, really good game. Was out for the PS3. I believe it was glitched quite badly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't really get to play it through that much. But I heard a lot of people that were like, wow, the Raven's being remastered for the PS4. They're excited about it. So I found it cheap at GameStop and picked it up. And I actually had a go at it. That was my 40th platinum.
Very cool.
Yeah. And it's another one of those games that's a whodunit. It was like Agatha Christie old movies, like Death on the Nile and stuff like that. And I love those old murder mystery things. Used to sit down and watch them with my parents and sit down, shut up, it's on type thing. And it would be you would see the detective investigating the crime. In this case, it was a jewel thief by the name of Raven, and he was stealing these eyes of the Sphinx. And it happens, the robbery happens, you play the investigator trying to figure out who it is that did it, who the Raven is, because it's kind of your arch enemy.
Yeah.
And then when you see the crime being solved, it then goes to how the crime was done, which is what is, again, that's how it's done in Agatha Christie films. Can't speak today. Agatha Christie films, because they do flashback, but this time you're playing the flashback. That's why you saw me in the train twice. Once when it was burning, once when it wasn't.
Okay.
So it was before and after. Raven was my 40th platinum, and I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to have a go at it. Even if you're not a trophy hunter like me, still a brilliant game, because right at the end of that game made me go, damn, for 10 minutes. I'm like, wow. Damn that game. So, yeah. And then the other one was South Park. I did South Park Fractured Butthole.
Okay, Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, but not the other one, which was
The Stick of Truth.
Yes,
yeah,
the Stick of Truth. I enjoyed the Stick of Truth better. I have to say, I enjoyed the Stick of Truth.
You like the RPG elements to it compared to the Fractured Butthole?
It's more. I don't know. It was funnier. But then again, it was the first South Park game I played, and I've watched the TV show, a lot. I think I watched them all the episodes. Those guys did an amazing job on South Park.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of episodes. My favorite is the one that's Make Love Not War Peace. Make Love Not Warcraft. And it's funny as hell because it's all about Warcraft and everything like that.
Yep.
So it's such a good episode. Probably one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
But this one, I didn't enjoy it that much. There was a lot of difficult boss battles.
Okay.
A lot. But once I got the platinum, I was very happy. Finishing the story basically was the crowning moment. The rest of it was just mopping up.
Yeah.
Collectibles and stuff. And I also played The Walking Dead. Now we're going back onto our actual topic of Halloween and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead season 2.
Yep.
Season 2. Series 2.
Yeah.
Get right. And I love the Walking Dead games. Telltale did some magic on that stuff. I love.
Rest in peace, Telltale.
Right? They really did get screwed over.
Yeah.
And I'm playing another one that's done by him now. Which is The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's like fairy tales, but it's got a different spin on it. If anybody hasn't played it, it's just... The story is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Walking Dead Season 2 did not have a platinum. Boo. But I got 41 platinums between the last podcast and this podcast. I haven't taken down my ranks yet. I will certainly have a look at that while we're discussing the podcast, and I'll give you the rank details and stuff like that later on. But going on,
you're really knocking them out of a ring, Sean.
I'm trying to. Now I'm out of the competition that was in True Trophies, which congratulations to Ben Nobody for winning it, and I'm very proud that he is on my friends list. And I know, I don't know him very well, but I know him. He's on my friends list and stuff like that. And he actually won it. And he actually put up a little blog afterwards about the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
And he so put himself out to try and win this thing. 'Cause he didn't think he was going to have a chance at time. And then, come later on, when he sees everybody else is burning out, which is what I saw. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I discovered live streams. So I slowed down a hell of a lot because of the live stream, because you have to stream what people want to see.
Yeah.
Whereas, you can't really trophy hunt that much. But yeah, Ben Nobody did an absolutely fantastic job, but he almost made himself ill doing it. That's kind of dedication, obsession. He would be at work worrying about the stats and stuff, and he'd run home. First thing he'd do is check it, and he managed to get 100,000 points in 1 week.
Damn,
that's a lot of points.
I mean,
I
haven't played the PS4, and I don't know exactly how the trophy system goes, but from what you've been saying, that sounds like a heck of a lot of a dedication.
It is in 1 week. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. So, again, hats off to Ben Nobody. Fantastic job, mate. If you're listening to this podcast, well done.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. Shout out to Sean's friend, Ben.
So there's a couple of games that are coming out. There's one that particularly stands out to me because I have the first version of it, and that's Dying Light. Mm-hmm. Dying Light, I loved it. I haven't finished it, haven't platinumed it. I played it with my brother. It was a lot of fun playing co-op and stuff. Dying Light 2 is coming out in 2020. So that's probably one of my main horror games that I'm looking forward to that's coming out
Very cool.
on PS4. I'm not overly versed on PC or anything like that. I mean, what you looking forward to?
Well, there are a couple of games I've been, reversing myself on the upcoming horror games list, and we were talking a little bit about Resident Evil a little while back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the video game series Dino Crisis?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past. That's like Dino Crisis, and what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was.
It was like Dino Crisis. God.
Parasite Eve was good.
Ah.
That's kind of the same sort of thing.
Yeah. If for any of you youngins, and I know I say that ironically because I'm 23 years old, all of you youngins out there,
I'm ancient.
Dino Crisis is basically Resident Evil, but replace the zombies with dinosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what the other one was, but it was so good.
And considering I'm me, a dinosaur lover, going around killing dinosaurs, that's basically a dream for me.
Killing dinosaurs is a dream for you.
Anything dinosaur related.
I got news for you, Isaac. They're dead.
Yes,
already.
thank you.
They're already
You
dead.
don't need to tell that to the dino expert, Sean.
Yeah.
But anyway, from what I've been going through some of these articles, there's a Dino Crisis fan game being released in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be released in 2020, but I know for sure that it's basically a new development team that's working on a Dino Crisis
Do you know
game.
what platforms it's coming out on?
I think it'll come out on the PC. I'll have to reevaluate my evidence just to be sure, but I came across it and I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I haven't heard from Dino Crisis in like forever.
No. And
Yeah.
it's probably one of those remakes that a lot of people want.
Yeah,
Remasters.
totally. And with all of these new remasters being released in 2020, it makes me wonder when they're going to do a remaster on freaking, God, I can't. Oh, yeah. We were talking about a remaster of the Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Now
love to see that.
that's not a horror game, but that's just a damn good game.
Yeah.
That's a damn good game. Definitely one of my go-to on the first on the list. That and Mass Effect
Yeah.
for PS4. I would love to see it. I can't see, although Disney now has taken over LucasArts.
Yeah.
I still can't see. Well, Jedi Fallen Order's coming out for the PS4, so I would say never now.
I suppose not.
That we can only just cross our fingers, legs, and everything else that we can cross.
And once again, I know this isn't horror related, but I'm totally looking forward to the remaster of Destroy All Humans.
Oh, there's a remaster coming out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
You should see the trailer. It's really awesome.
Is it is it PlayStation or PC only?
It's going to be both.
I think PlayStation 4 has Destroy All or Kill All Humans or Destroy All Humans 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I've never played them.
Yeah.
Are they like turn-based games?
So they're open world games. Think of games like GTA or Just Cause.
Oh yeah.
You obviously play around as a little short 4-foot alien, zapping the crap out of people, abducting people, getting their brain stems, and doing the anal probes up their ass.
Oh gosh. South Park all over again.
Yep. But the interesting thing, I have a long history with Destroy All Humans. It was one of the very first games I ever played when I got the original Xbox game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it was a blast, like going around as an alien, destroying everything in sight.
It's literally a blast.
Yeah, it's literally a blast. Sean coming in with the puns.
There you go. No, I turn-based games. I love turn-based games. So if
Yeah.
it would be a turn-based game, I like XCOM and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Great turn-based games.
Oh yeah, another horror game I'm looking forward to is Ghostwire Tokyo.
That's not for PlayStation. I know that.
Yeah.
What's that for?
And it doesn't see. It's coming to PC, PS4, and
it's coming
Xbox One.
PS4.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when's that coming out?
It's yet to be announced,
Oh,
but
that's
it's coming out in
probably
2020.
why. Okay.
But I'm a little bit worried because from what I've seen, it's going to be licensed by Bethesda, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Bethesda rocks. We love you, Bethesda.
Well, I'm
I
sure
do.
one of our co-hosts doesn't.
No, he does. He does. He just doesn't like Fallout 76.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
fair enough.
Bethesda didn't do Breakpoint, and he really doesn't like that.
Yeah.
So, I saw a copy of that in Bookman's yesterday, and it's still raining at $60. But somebody just didn't want their game; they put it in Bookman's straight away. It's like, I'm not touching that.
Yeah. I remember a time when a new Xbox One console was included with Fallout 71. They were trying to get rid of it that badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those games that you get bundle or something like
Yeah.
that. But now apparently, I mean, it's kind of gone the way some of the other games have. That it launches badly, but then you put a lot of time in it, and it's now like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So I want to have a go at it. I do. I'm not going to discount it. And 76 is in Bookman's as well for $18. I almost got it.
You almost got
Yeah,
it. I don't think it's worth it.
I got $30 credit, so
Eh.
I was like, close.
I don't think it's worth it, Sean, especially online only and all that.
Yeah. That's kind of like the unique part about it, isn't it? It's all based on player-based.
Yeah.
Being the NPCs, but not.
And Gavin actually shared this article with me like a week or so ago. Bethesda is releasing, private servers so that you could go along.
Yeah, it's a lot better, apparently. That's what makes it a lot better.
But they require you to pay $19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're paying for your own space, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And that obviously pissed Gavin off.
That goes back to the horror theme, because that's pretty horrific. I think that's pretty horrific.
Loot boxes. Every gamer's worst nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a loot room. You can pay for your own room to play the gaming.
Oh yeah. I know I'm not a PlayStation guy, but I'm gonna be so sad when the second part of The Last of Us comes out and I am not able to play it.
Is that because it's just PlayStation exclusive?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so PlayStation has an awful lot of really decent exclusives that I will say to my gaming friends, and they'll be like, "What the hell's that?" Like Detroit Become Human. They were like, "I've never heard of that." It's like, oh yeah, that's a PlayStation exclusive. And one of the ones that's coming out that's got quite a bit of hype about it at the moment is Death Stranding. That's coming out.
I recently saw a trailer for that, actually. It looks pretty good.
But even the trailer doesn't explain what it's all about. It doesn't give anything away. I'm kind of looking forward to actually learning with it as you play it, because I think that's going to be how it's going to go.
Isn't that the usual style of Kojima when he releases new games? He makes it as vague as possible?
Yeah, well, the first Metal Gear Solid game that I played was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And then they probably got, especially the story of Metal Gear Solid, got very, very bizarre.
Yeah.
I lost track. So, it's like a bit like Kingdom Hearts, I suppose. That kind of goes off on a tangent and then all of a sudden you're back. Final Fantasy as well. It's like very hard for me to get into because I just don't know where I am in it.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I enjoyed quite a few Final Fantasy games, and I enjoyed the other ones as well.
Very cool.
Yeah. But Death Stranding, I have got it pre-ordered, so I will have a report on the desk as soon as it comes through, and I've had a bit of a go on it.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does look fantastic, especially with who was the name of the actor? Sean Bean?
No. Yes, I think Sean Bean's in it, but he's not the main guy. The main guy is the guy who's the actor in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
TV series.
Yeah. I think he also appeared in the demo for PT, wasn't it?
PT?
Playable teaser, sorry. With the Silent Hill, you're going around through these hallways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Silent Hill was probably one of my most. I think first one of the first Silent Hills I played was pretty scary because the world it starts off is pretty okay. It's normal, and then when you go into, I think it's either like a school, really old school, or an old hospital.
Yeah,
shit turns around, and there's like blood on walls. There's like bloody mattresses. But the most scariest thing for me, and let's go on to one of the subjects that you sent me, was scariest games and stuff.
Yeah.
Was the nurse with no face.
Aha.
I was like, ugh! Hospitals freak me out anyway.
Yeah.
I hate hospitals. I cannot. So the things I hate are androids, but not the new ones. Not. But like
you're talking
Terminator.
About androids that don't look human.
Yeah, no, we're talking about androids that look human, and then they got the circuit board face underneath or something like that.
Okay.
Whereas now you got Terminator, which is obviously it's still an android, or a robot, but it's like a metal skeleton, not the circuit board. 1980s, horrific. It used to give me nightmares. So yeah, hospitals and androids are my fears. They really are. More so the hospitals because that's more real at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see robots running around, but I don't know. But yeah, that is one of my scariest games that I played.
Yeah.
Another one was Dead Space.
Oh yeah.
So here we go. We'll talk about scary moments in games.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll make a record right now. I have recently gotten into the horror genre of video games.
No shit.
So smart ass. So my experiences are rather limited in comparison to Sean. But the very first horror game that I legitimately got to play was Five Nights at Freddy's 2. If you know what that game is nowadays.
No.
Okay. Good thing.
I know it's going to be Freddy Krueger, right?
No.
It's not? Okay. Is it? Okay.
It has nothing to do with the
Friday the 13th.
Friday. No. Nightmare on Elm Street. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Nightmare. Friday the 13th is Jason.
As much as I wish Gavin was here, this is probably the occasion where I am glad he's not here. Anyway, so Five Nights at Freddy's is basically this not RPG. It's this new horror game that was released 4 years ago, by this guy named Scott Cawthon. And it has a very simple concept. Basically, you're a security guard in an office, looking at cameras, making sure nobody's causing trouble or anything.
Yeah. Doing your job.
You don't have to worry about any intruders, but you're more worried about the animatronics that are trying to get you.
Oh.
Yeah. So...
Yay.
In the first game, basically, you're looking at the cameras, tracking the movements of the animatronics, and if they come close to your door, then obviously you shut the door. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is that scary? Well, the scary thing is that you have limited power, so you have to close your doors strategically and use the camera strategically.
Ah.
So that's what made it pretty scary, because you're in an office chair, and in one space, basically waiting to get killed or survive the night.
Right.
Yeah.
And your power is like energy, stamina, or something like that?
Basically the energy to the entire building. So if all the power goes out, you're basically defenseless.
Yeah, shit, because all the locks will unlock and your cameras will be there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Plunged into darkness and then lynched.
But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's was... so I'm a huge fan of Markiplier, and I love watching his Let's Plays. And the first time I ever watched his Let's Play of Five Nights at Freddy's, there's this particular part in his first episode where, he's trying to survive the night, doesn't know what to do, and then this animatronic figure just rushes down the hallway and jump scares him. And I was like, nope, I'm out of there. I'm not watching those videos ever again. But I basically gained the courage a little bit later to watch the rest of his videos. And that kind of got me inspired to be all like, maybe I should try playing these games for myself. And that basically inspired me to do a Let's Play channel on YouTube.
Yeah. And if you're playing it yourself, it's like driving. So, you're more aware of what's going on. And if you're travel sick or something like that and you're driving, you got control over it. You can actually drive a vehicle, no problem with, suffering from travel sickness. I am that person.
Yeah.
If I'm a passenger, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So if I was watching someone playing a game, I'd be like, no. But if you're playing the game, you then have control over it.
Yeah.
Even though you're watching a video, so you could stop the video.
Yeah, you could. Or just, buzz the laptop down and just leave a room.
Right.
Or throw the laptop into the garbage for good measure.
I don't know if it's the laptop's fault, but you'd be getting rid of a good laptop just for no reason. No, there's the off button. The off
obviously,
button
I didn't do that, but I'm just making the point.
No, I'm sure there's some YouTube videos of people that actually do that.
Yeah.
Throw their stuff away because it's like, oh my god. Or one of the things that gets me, the YouTube videos where they smash up their shit and they say, I'm never buying anything from you again. You guys suck. The thing is, you've already bought it. So they got your money already. So if you smash up their machine, it ain't gonna
matter that much.
No, because you've already bought it. Now I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. So with being in control of a game instead of watching the game.
Yeah.
And talking of jump scares, one of my scariest moments in horror games is the game is Dead Space.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played it. If you've played it, you'll understand. But I've played this thing so many times. I've got the platinum in it so many times on various accounts or profiles. And that thing still makes me jump out of my seat, even though I know that shit's coming around the corner or that thing's going to happen. And, there are a couple of scenes in Dead Space that always freak me out. One of the main ones that always sticks with me is in the first game, there's this crew member banging their head against the bulkhead of the ship, but they're dead. Yeah, they're zombie type thing. So it's all zombie in space type thing. But you see him just gently bang, and it's like, that's still freaky. Still freaky shit. The other one, obviously, and a lot of people who have played Dead Space 2 will agree with me strongly, is the eyeball.
Oh, yeah.
That thing... Now, I managed to get through
That's so cringeworthy.
Yeah, and because I was so aware of it, I actually passed it first time.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to see what the fuss was about, so I did it again and failed. Oh my God, you could actually feel it yourself. You're like, oh. And I actually did wish that I never did it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd never actually failed that thing. And, when I knew it was coming up, I was so... on the ball that I'm not going to fail this because this is going to suck. And I passed it, like I say, and I was like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. It's okay." But it's when you fail it, it's like, and it goes straight. It goes without you even knowing that it's going to go.
Yeah. And
that's what catches you, and it's the whole, oh God, shit that goes in your eyes is always not fun.
Yeah. Or down there.
Yeah. Yep. Other games that freak me out as well is the games like post-apocalyptic.
Go on.
Post-apocalyptic Russian buildings, because they always have like test labs. They always have like hospitals.
As I remember from a previous episode, you are not a big fan of hospital theaters.
No, I am not. No, and I always find myself. If there's one in the game, I always find myself in it. If I'm, before I came here to the United States, my job was delivering drugs around northeast of England, and I'd have to go into the theaters and drop the stuff off. So even though it's like one of my fears, it's part of my job.
Yeah.
Which sucked ass. It really did. It's like, you got to go into the theater, Sean. And I'm like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, it's only the entrance. I was like, yeah, that's enough. Seeing people on the beds ready to go in and get under the knife or whatever is like, no. But Singularity is one of those games.
Yeah.
Singularity is a very, very good game.
I actually found out that Singularity is on the PC, so I might download it and try it one day.
Worth going for it.
Yeah.
And, when I first started it, I was like, oh, this isn't too bad. It's kind of cool. But then when you actually open up the Rift and then go back into the... part where before it got ruined and stuff, that is the kind of horrific thing, because now when you're back in the present, what the ghosts are, the spirits are, or the monsters that are running around are, and so it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah,
it really is creepy as fuck.
I feel you.
Old Russian outposts. No.
And speaking of more travesties with video games, I recently bought then downloaded 3 new games. One of them is Outer Worlds.
Oh, you bastard. Seriously, I've been trying to get it. GameStop sold out of it.
Damn.
I took a whole load of games in to try and trade and get the money up.
Yeah. Funny story.
12 and I couldn't even make it, and they were sold out.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry, Sean.
Oh, no, sorry.
The funny story behind this was Gavin and I were texting back and forth asking me if I was going to get it. And I was thinking, might as well get it online for Steam. But I found out later that it won't be released on Steam till like 2020. I'm like, fuck, that sucks.
Oh, shoot. So you got it for Xbox?
Yeah. So I went to the Xbox, and Windows 10 has a Microsoft store where I could basically play other Xbox games on it. Yeah. So I went to Outer Worlds. It was like $59.99.
Yeah.
The usual. So, and Gavin was informing me about trying out this Xbox Game Pass, where if you sign up a membership for it, it allows you to play some of the newly released games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, are you like streaming the games or downloading the games?
Download.
Okay.
So I did the Xbox Gamer Pass membership, which is pretty cheap. It's like $1.
That's dirt cheap.
Yes, exactly.
That's not pretty cheap. That's dirt cheap.
So I basically got Outer Worlds
For $1.
basically for free.
You bastard. You absolute bastard.
But the terrible thing about that is
I hope it's so terrible. I really hope it's... Go on.
Okay, so, all right, I'm going to do record Outer Worlds. So, I was setting it up, doing my usual thing, and basically the recording setup didn't work for it. Like, shut up. So the first couple of recording software I used was Fraps. That's the usual.
Oh, I've heard of that. That's an old one, isn't it?
It's
Fraps?
a relatively old one, but it's never failed me before. But it's failed me this time.
Oh.
So I went to record it, and sometimes I do test footage because I didn't want to repeat the same mistake as Gavin did with Black Mesa. So I looked at the test recording. The entire screen was black. The background noises were there, but it was black.
Right.
So I went ahead with another recording software that I used, more or less, more than Fraps. My backup, if you will. Same result. It was all black screen.
Really?
Yeah. And then I was like, fine, I might as well use OBS. So I did. I pulled out OBS. It's a free program, by the way, that you use for streaming and whatnot. And that's the exact same program that Gavin was using to record Black Mesa.
Right.
And pretty much the same results as Gavin. I went for the test recording. The image was there. The background noises were there.
But it was out of sync.
No, it was stuttering a lot. Like
it's buffering.
Yeah, it was stuttering a lot.
Yeah.
Buffering a lot.
Yeah.
And I tried tweaking the settings. Nothing would work. The closest that worked was turning down the frame rate to like 200 something.
Wow.
Because my setting, if you increase your frame rates, you get better quality.
Yeah.
But not quite working, so I'm postponing my recordings of Outer Worlds until I could get this problem resolved.
Wow.
Yeah. So that really sucks. It's like for the past couple of days, I pull up Outer Worlds, the screen is right there, waiting to start, and I'm doing all of this testing, recording shit, and I'm never able to play the fucking game.
You're spending more time trying to record it than play it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty horrific.
Yeah.
Shame.
Why do you do this to me?
That's karma, that's what it is. You need to wait for Sean to get Outer Worlds, and then everything will be fine.
The balance will be restored.
Actually, there was a deal on Amazon, and my wife saw it, and she told me about it while we were out and about yesterday, and she goes, "The Amazon are doing a deal where you buy 2 games, get 1 free." Mm-hmm. And she said, and one of the games is the game that you want. And I was like, really? What game's that? And she goes, Outer Worlds. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. Apparently, there's selective games, but we're looking at Modern Warfare, the new one that's just come out.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare. I think it's just Modern Warfare, isn't it? Yeah, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Outer Worlds.
Yep.
And Grid.
Grid.
That's a racing game that came out a couple of months ago.
That probably explains why I never heard of it before.
Grid's a fairly good game, and I don't know if it's a remaster because Grid was out for the PlayStation 3, Grid 2, Grid 3. They were all out for the PlayStation 3. So this first time Grid, I believe, came out for the PS4.
Yeah.
And my wife is actually seriously looking at going through with it, so I still might get Outer Worlds yet. But here's the horrific part of it.
Uh-oh.
The horrific part of it is she says, I can't have any more new games for 3 months because there's 3 games. But I don't think that's fair because one of them's free, you see. So
Yeah. Yes, you see.
2 months. 2 months. I'll take 2 months or 1 month. No,
Well,
we got Death Stranding coming, so we invested like $60 in that. We didn't go stupid like we did with Borderlands 3, which was $100. So it's not
fair enough. Fair enough, Sean.
Not worth it.
But yeah, the other 2 games, I can't remember the name of the other one. But I bought this other horror game that I was planning on recording anyway. It was called Moons of Madness.
I've seen it advertised.
Yeah.
And I was going to take a look at the trailer of it just before we started the podcast because I'd not heard anything of it. And then it just caught my eye for some reason. And I'm like, well, what kind of horror game is that? Is it going to be like an Alien type thing or...
I haven't gotten too far into it,
Okay.
but from what I can tell, it's basically a Lovecraftian horror game, but in space.
Is it what, crafty?
Lovecraftian, like Cthulhu and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You never heard of Lovecraft?
No.
Okay, so he's this author that makes a bunch of these horrific horror stories based around his mythology of worshipping Cthulhu, the god of darkness or something like that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
It's cool.
But yeah, I haven't gotten too far into it, but mostly because the game is kind of laggy.
Scary as fuck. No?
Well,
okay. Not that scary then.
No, not.
Okay.
Okay, it is scary, but not in the way you're thinking.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, the funny thing is, I did a couple of first recordings on it in the first ever mission. Should I spoil it, or do you want to play it?
Spoiler alert. Go ahead.
So anyway, the first thing I did, so I'm basically playing as this engineering dude because that's kind of a common trope with a lot of these horror games, isn't it?
Dead Space.
So I'm playing as this engineering dude, and I fix up the place. I go out onto Mars to fix the solar panels. And
Of
whatnot.
course.
And it's
Nothing's gonna go wrong.
No, not yet. So, I'm fixing these solar panels and all of this stuff. And it's really cool with the mechanics. You got this gauntlet that allows you to access technologies from far away, so you're able to control the technologies and whatnot.
Okay.
And I had to do a little bit of back and forth because some of these solar panels are powered by these power cores or whatever.
Yeah.
And one of them lacked a power core, so I had to go to this nearby base and retrieve the power core and put it in there.
Right.
Yeah. And after I
the nearby base, was it abandoned?
Yes. I would say it's abandoned because when I entered in there was a brief silhouette of a witch.
Oh! Wow. There you go. That's not scary.
That is not scary at all. No, sirree.
No. You wanting to get off Mars pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, after I'm done with the solar paneling shit, this Russian lady comes over the speaker and she's like, "Hey, why are you flooding my greenhouse back at base? You gotta come back here and fix all this shit." So yeah, that's kind of where I left off. Get back to the base to settle with a greenhouse and
so you're not
shit.
on Mars on your own then. You are with a group of people.
Yeah,
okay.
But I suspect I will be alone very, very
pretty
soon.
Sure, yeah, everybody's gonna disappear or die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Wow, that's not. Yeah, okay. Well, I think one of the games that I'm having trouble playing at the moment, and I haven't even touched it, is Outlast. Yeah. So many people that have owned it, that are my friends, that they said it's the most fucking shitty, scariest game ever. And I have the Outlast Trinity collection.
Yeah.
And yeah, I haven't dared to try it yet. I will, but yeah, I haven't. I mean, it's been like Dead Space. Took me ages to get into try it because I heard so much about how freaking scary it was and stuff. So a lot of people put me off this Outlast, even though I got it and I want to play it. And so I'm gonna play it. But yeah, apparently that's one of my scariest games that I've got.
Yeah. God, I honestly kind of off subject right now, but I honestly want to go over to Gavin's house and force him to play one of those horror games instead of being a whiny little bitch about it.
Oh, well, no, yeah, because he doesn't really like the horror games so much, does he?
I was talking to him last week, and he doesn't mind horror movies that much because, well, they're right there on the screen. Right. But when you're in a horror game, you're basically playing as the main protagonist. So
you can't get soaked up into it the more you do watching a movie or something.
Yeah, exactly.
What's one of your scary... No. Okay, so here we go. Here's another one of your subjects is your scary movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your favourite scary movie? Oh, you don't have to pick one. You can reel off a list of a few... We haven't got all day, so you can't do 100.
Actually, I wouldn't count this as a horror movie, more like a character study. But I recently watched the new Joker movie.
Oh yeah. I heard that because again, my resource, my cat, my wife, she's saying that a couple of her friends went to go and see it, and they said it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thing is, I've not seen a preview of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a preview of it. I don't want to spoil it. And today is the day that Terminator Dark Fate comes out as well. And
that is true.
I wanted to see that before the podcast so that I could go and spoiler it on podcast. No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I've heard that the Joker is a very good.
It is a
gothic.
Yeah, it's a really good.
Dark.
I see the pun you did there.
Well, it is. It's Gotham Gothic, but I mean, being an '80s goth myself and stuff, that kind of look of the town, of the person, or the people around it and stuff. I mean, Tim Burton with all his Batman films is a very gothic feel to it.
Yeah.
So those kind of things I like.
Yeah,
I like a lot. So I would like to see the Joker. I think me and my wife want to go and see it. My wife wants to see it with me. Yeah. So it's not going to be one of those I'm going to be allowed to go and see on my own.
Yeah, it was a really great movie. My girlfriend is like, it was okay.
Oh, yeah.
But I really loved it because it portrayed the character in a very unique way. Like, right. I'm not going to...
Did it make him look like a good guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's much more sympathetic than he is a good guy because, he's dealing with mental illness.
Yeah.
Being ostracized by society and all that.
Yeah, that's all of us.
Yep.
We're all being ostracized by society.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. Cool. Any more? What else? What other...
but anyway, back to the favorite movie subject. Yeah. I'm not sure if I told you this before, but I currently host my own specialty show on this campus radio. And it's called Cinema Praise, where I basically talk about a movie that I might have seen recently and talk about some trivia, what I love about it, and recommend what I recommend that movie to.
So it's like a book club study type thing?
Yeah, kind of just.
But movie study.
Yeah, movie study.
All right.
And I'm the speaker. Anyway, so one of the horror movies that I've been talking about recently is the original Terminator.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
So it's pretty interesting with a history of the Terminator franchise. Like, the original one was more horror-centric, whereas the other ones preceding were more action-oriented.
It was, and I was watching, there was Arnold Schwarzenegger and, what's her name? Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton.
Yeah. They were on Graham Norton's show. Graham Norton is an English chat host.
Yeah.
And he has this, talk show over in England, and he had both of them on. And Arnold Schwarzenegger was saying, and if I understood it correctly, T2 was done under a very, very low budget.
Yeah.
A really low budget. And for such a low budget, it was a damn good film.
And it's probably one of the few contenders to be a sequel that's better than the original.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I think the original, because of maybe the special effects that was out there and then, because... It was stop motion with the Terminator.
In the original one,
see that, yeah. It was like stop motion stuff, or it was
other
things, and you could see the prosthetics were glued onto his face and that kind of thing. Albeit still pretty scary because you don't
is.
want a machine like that going to hunt you down, and he's going to kill everybody under the same name until he gets to you, and he's not even going to know if he hit the right person yet. He's just going to bump off every Sarah Connor.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
I remember the first time I saw it was at the Klein Library down at NAU back when my mom was still working there.
Okay.
And it was a special event where they, show specific movies at the Klein Library.
Yeah.
And the Terminator happened to be one of them. And it was really dark.
Yeah.
It had a very noir atmosphere, if you will.
Noir.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it was. I think the reason why it was so dark is because of hiding all the special effects. And
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Because you look at it now and you need to turn the gamma up.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can turn all the brightness up on your TV so you can actually see something. But then Terminator 2 and Rise of Machines, all the other ones that are out there and stuff were a lot more, I don't know, actiony. Because, the old one had that
action feel?
Well, no, the very first one, it kind of had that Friday the 13th, that Halloween, that kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
You're being stalked, but you're being stalked by a Terminator instead of a guy who's in a pumpkin mask. or a ski mask or something like that, But you got this thing chasing you and it's not going to give up.
And it's disguised as literally a human being.
Right. And slowly falls apart in, the flesh coming off.
Yeah, exactly.
Which goes to my pet hate of androids. But he looked like a robot instead of circuit board shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the circuit board shit. I don't know. It's just like, yeah.
I'll keep that in mind in the future.
Right. I think my worst films I saw, or scariest films I saw with that circuit board shit, was Logan's Run. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No,
I have
not.
It's a classic. I can't remember who it's done by. And it's all about androids. It's a world of androids, and there's like a couple of humans in there and stuff like that. But yeah, Logan's Run was just... That was probably one of the freakiest ones, but the one that really scared the living daylights out of me, and this is how I knew that I was afraid of androids or scared of androids, because I couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I had nightmares about androids being in my bed, being in my bedroom, or being in my room, not in my bed. But the worst dream nightmare I had was me in my bed, waking up, there's like androids everywhere and shit. Yeah. So I'm running like hell. I'm always running from these fucking things. Okay. And then there would be times where my mum, because my dad had not there, he wasn't living with us anymore at that time. My mum would always be like, Sean, you okay? And wake me up and stuff. And are you okay? Okay. And, I wouldn't be out of sleep, and she'd stay with me and stuff. And I'd end up falling asleep again. But
yeah.
I'd be scared to. And she'd be there. So it's okay. I'll be there if you just to make sure you sleep. Anyway, one of these dreams, I'm running away from the androids, and I wake up screaming. My mum's at the side of the bed, and she's like, what's going on? Is it another nightmare and stuff? And I'm saying, yeah. And then she's like, just comforting me and stuff. And so I reach out to her, and her fucking skin comes off, and she's got... It gives me chills already now. I actually thought I woke up, but it was part of the dream.
Wow.
She was an android.
Wow.
And then, fuck me, I wake up from the real thing, and she's there! she's there by my bed trying to see if I'm okay, and I'm thinking...
Is this a dream?
Yeah. And I had to explain to her that, I thought I woke up and you were there, and then you reached out and your skin came off your hand and you grinned at me and shit, and your face flipped open, and you got these golf ball things rotating around in your head, and
oh my god,
it was fucking scary.
Oh my god.
And it was the worst nightmare I'd ever had, because I thought I woke up,
yeah.
thinking I'm safe, and then it's like, no, we're still here. God. So that's why I don't like androids. But the one that really set it off for me was Westworld. Not the new one. We're talking about the old one with Yul Brynner and shit.
Yeah.
And that's the circuit board flipping
Yeah,
open face shit. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. So those are my scary movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm afraid of androids. No. But the thing is, I can watch Terminator and I can watch other things that are cyborg type thing, but the circuit board shit. Another one of those films was called Future Cop. It's a really, really old film. Again, it was a circuit board cop.
Yeah.
And if I could see past that, it would be a really good film because of what they did. They made him be able to figure out crimes and stuff without persecuting the wrong person and shit. But, you know, when his chest came open and shit, I was like, fucking, no, put it. Doctor Who. Doctor Who was another one.
Yeah.
That's a TV show. But, you know, it doesn't happen in all the other Doctor Who's now. But the Tom Baker era of Doctor Who, that was circuit board shit as well. But it was so badly done because they had like if it was a circuit board in the chest, they would open the chest. The chest would have this like lump on the front of it where they could plant whatever it is they're going to make look like the android. Yeah. So it kind of looked a bit odd. But yeah, there you go.
Holy shit.
Those
that is so reminiscent of a ending of a horror movie, honestly.
No shit, I lived my own horror movie. Fuck.
Dear God, John.
I know.
Anyway.
Still the most freakiest thing. Another film that gets me, and not gives me nightmares so much, but does definitely not want me to sleep so soon, is the original The Thing. Aha. Have you seen that?
John Carpenter's The Thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was where the head turns upside down and the legs come out, and it's like...
So you're very squeamish of
the bed.
Yeah. So you're very squeamish of things that look human but turn out not to be.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. This is where you get to tell me you're an alien. But I can handle that shit. I knew that.
Yeah. I actually have a friend, kind of going off topic once again. I have a artist friend that is scared of, I throw like dragons or your stereotypical monsters at her, but the only thing she's legitimately scared of is monsters that are humanoid. That's all she's afraid of.
Like The Fly?
Yeah, exactly.
And that was one of those films that really got me. Jeff Goldblum one. Yeah. Not the really old 50s or 60s one. That was kind of funny in a way. But the Jeff Goldblum, the transformation that he was going from being human to The Fly was sick. Yeah. It was sick. It was just putrid. All the shit peeling. Oh, God. And it was so well done. Yeah. It was so well done. One of Jeff Goldblum's earlier years, being the young man he was then.
Well,
I didn't even know who he was.
A way.
Huh?
You know, that's his quote from Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
Oh, yeah. And he's also in Independence Day with Will Smith as well.
Yeah, that is correct.
That's when he's getting a little bit more calmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Fly I remember I didn't watch the whole of that because the transformation was just gross. It really was.
I feel But anyway, Terminator is probably one of my more favorite horror-centric sci-fi movies. Okay. But I also love the classic Alien. Oh, yeah. The first one, not Aliens, as in plural.
So Aliens is more guns and stuff. And it's a bit more action, whereas Alien is...
You got one alien in the spaceship with a bunch of people that don't have any guns or anything.
Right. Yeah. You're kind of helpless. And I just going to jump on that one. Me and Chris, my brother, when we were, I think we were, 8, 10, something like that. And we videoed it on VCR.
Of course.
Yeah. So we could watch the chest burster over and over again. Yeah. So we're watching the film and then this chest burster happens from Ash, I think it is, isn't it?
No, it was another person. I know Ash is the android.
Ash, yeah. So he's having dinner and then he's on the table and the chest burster comes out and we're like, wow, that was so cool. So we actually rewound it, played it, rewound it, played it, rewound it, played it, and watched it in slow motion as it's coming out. by the end of watching it 10 times, we were actually very sick of it and scared of it and shit. So what we thought was ultra cool, now we're ultra, but don't really want to watch this again because this is gonna make me sick.
That is absolutely hilarious. Like, you just witness a small alien life form pop out of somebody's chest in a very gruesome fashion.
Yeah.
And your first reaction was,
wow,
that is so cool.
we were kids. But again, the fatal mistake was rewinding it and watching it over again and watching it in slow motion and shit. And then we were like, that's fucked up. We didn't... It's still cool, but we were kind of afraid of it now.
Yeah.
It stopped us wanting to watch the film for a bit, so we didn't watch it all.
Yeah.
I think we went back to it a couple of days afterwards and we skipped the chest burster. We're like, no, we don't want to see that again.
A neat little piece of trivia that I found out while I was doing, research on the original Alien. Mm-hmm. That entire chest burster sequence was done in one take.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And most of the in the script, it was basically an alien appears or something along those lines. So they didn't know what they were
how
in
it was
for.
going to, So all of the reactions
were very genuine.
Yeah.
That is just one of the what I really love about behind the scenes in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To find out all those little knickknacks, and you see films, and some of the one-liners that they come up with aren't even in the script.
Yeah,
that's why they're so good.
Like the most famous example of doing shit on the spot, pulling up shit on the spot, is that one scene from the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie, where Jack Sparrow's holding the jar of dirt and he's like, look at what I got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it?
No, I remember that. The other one, what was it, the one that strikes me, you were talking away, you carry on and I'll remember it.
So aside from Alien, I also love Predators.
Oh yeah,
not Predators, singular Predator, sorry.
Yeah. I thought Predator 2 was the best because Danny Glover was shit up good in it.
Yeah,
he really was good. And the whole chase around, instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger and his band of commandos and stuff getting wiped out.
Yeah,
I mean they got wiped out pretty gruesome.
Yep.
But and it set the pace for Predator films.
Yeah. But
my favorite, apart from Alien versus Predator, I suppose, because it explained all about what the alien was for.
Yeah.
It was a training ground for the Predators.
Yeah.
And if they passed it, they would
basically
graduate.
Basically their rite of passage, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I have to say my favorite, probably because the gang wars that were in it and all the one-liners that came out of King Willie and stuff like that were brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just so cool.
But then again, Arnold Schwarzenegger's one-liners are more iconic.
Yeah, I don't know if...
Get to a chopper!
They're not supposed to be, but I think that people mimic them so much that they actually do become fairly legendary.
I suppose that's true.
Like Get to the Chopper is one of them, or I'll Be Back. And that's one of the ones lines that Linda Hamilton uses in the new Terminator film instead of Arnie does. I don't quite know what he's going to be doing it.
But God, like, asking me what my favorite horror movie would be is like the equivalent of asking me which game is my favorite. Right,
and that's why I said to you don't have to pick one. Yes, be fair, you can pick a few.
But I also like the Halloween series.
Okay.
And I
never really got into it.
Yeah. And a little bit of a good dosage of a Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
So I saw Friday the 13th, a few of them, and I saw the Freddy, not the Freddy, so you got Friday 13th, which is Jason.
Yep, Jason Voorhees.
And then you got the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Which is with Freddy Krueger, played by Robert Englund.
Which is also... So that guy is an amazing actor.
Yes, he is.
Okay, he's such an amazing actor because the first thing I saw him in was a TV show called V.
Yeah.
And he was this cute little alien that would not harm a fly. You know, his acting was so sweet and he was so passive and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then several years down the line, he gets that contract to go for being Freddy Krueger and he being a badass murderer type thing.
Yeah.
It just shows you how well he can act.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just absolutely fantastic.
And a fun trivia out there. Robert Englund voiced act as the Scarecrow from Injustice 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So he's basically now Freddy Krueger if he had a master's degree.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
You think that would be ever possible? Freddie Krueger to have a master's degree? No, maybe he actually was a very, very clever person.
Probably.
Because of the way he did shit.
Probably. But who knows for certain, right?
Right.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I wouldn't say I've seen the entire series, but I really want to try and get into the Saw series.
Another series I haven't seen, and I know about it, is all traps and shit like that, isn't it? And you know, there's one that I was told about that I think about quite often, and that's the one where the guy is paralyzed so that he can't even move anything, and he swallowed a key.
Yeah.
And the lady needs the key to get out of the trap.
Yeah.
And it's in his stomach. And she thinks he's dead, so she starts opening him up, digging out the key. He's awake and paralyzed. He can't tell her anything or anything. So she's actually delving into him while he's still alive.
Yeah.
That kind of... One of the films that I saw that was a bit like that was called The Cube.
The Cube.
Very cool. It's got booby traps all over the cube. It's not that you're being caged in something. It's the room is a booby trap.
Yeah.
So there's like entrances, exits everywhere. And one of them could be, and there was one that was in it, that the door opened and then there's this like spray and it sprayed acid in this guy's face. Dead in the face because you're thinking you want to go out the exit. So you get close to it. Door's going to open. You get sprayed. And you see throughout the period of 5 minutes or 10 minutes of them still being in that room, his face disappearing, and the special effects on how they did it or the model that they made for the face to dissipate like that, disintegrate, cave inside the skull was just so fucking cool. If you haven't seen The Cube, you want to see it.
Okay, I'll definitely see if I could get my hands on it. I really want to get into the Saw series, but my girlfriend is afraid to watch it. You want to know why?
Go on. Saws. She doesn't like jigsaws?
She's afraid of the puppet from the Saw series. Billy, I think his name is.
Okay, I'm not even aware of it.
Okay, I'll show you a picture of it later.
Oh, no, I've seen pictures of it. I'm not aware of what the puppet is all about.
Okay, so he's basically like the face of the Jigsaw Killer, the guy who's setting up all these traps. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he's...
So if you see him, you know you're in shit.
Yeah, he's all like, "Hello, I want to play a game."
Oh, I want to play a game too. Let's play Mass Effect,
Yeah, but my girlfriend is so friggin' afraid. Like, she is legitimately afraid that if she wakes up in the middle of the night, the Jigsaw puppet is going to be running over with his tricycle and like, "I want to play a game."
So, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of freaky. That goes,
Yeah.
No, I feel her.
Yeah.
That kind of brings my Android dream back. So,
no. Yeah, I'm sure you and her would get along very well.
Probably. I'd look forward to meeting her, actually. We should have her as a guest.
Yeah, maybe one of these days.
Without a doubt. If she's up for that.
Yeah. I think she'll be up for it one of these days. Gavin's, kind of skeptical, but I'll probably talk him into it.
Okay. What else you got?
Let's see. I remember back in high school, we were having a Halloween movie night marathon at this gas station that one of my friends' family owned. So we had this projector,
That's cool.
And one of the movies that we were watching was Devil's Rejects or something like that. It was directed by Rob Zombie, if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah. He's like a metal artist that's like pretty ancient now, but he does some damn good songs.
Yeah, he also directed a couple of horror movies, including the remake of Halloween.
And he did Something 1000 as well.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it's called.
The House of a Thousand
Yeah,
Corpses.
yeah.
So basically, The Devil's Rejects, I might be wrong on the title, I'll correct myself later, is basically a sequel to A House of a Thousand Corpses, mostly because it has the same cast of characters, the main bad guys from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Okay.
But it takes an interesting turn where they are the main focus of the entire movie.
Okay.
And, they're being pursued by this sheriff or whatever who killed his wife or something. And by the time, these guys are very despicable characters. They kill these random hotel goers or whatever. They put them out in the middle of a desert, shoot them, kill them, whatever.
Nice.
But by the end of it, the sheriff basically captures them, and he literally beats the living crap out of them, and he's becoming
one of them.
One of them, basically.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, you pretty much feel bad for them.
For the bad guys, but the good guy turns into the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
So that's probably one of the few horror movies that is etched into my memory ever since that day.
Okay.
The Devil's Rejects. I'll correct myself later if that is the wrong title, but anyway.
So my favorite films were Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
The first one.
Yep.
Not so much the other ones, the first one. And after watching the first one and seeing, I can't remember his name now, being torn apart by the Cenobites.
Yeah.
Man, the special effects in that shit, all the meat flying everywhere, and you see him like all muscle or gristle or, that kind of shit that, he'd been flayed. The special effects in that set for, in my mind that no other film was scary.
Yeah.
Because what they had done in that with the special effects and shit, they had to tear somebody apart.
Yeah.
They had to tear someone real apart on a film to get that kind of special effects. Obviously they didn't, I would thought. But and I always get people asking me, so what's your favourite horror film, Sean? I'm like, I don't really like horror because they're not that scary. The only one that I really like is Hellraiser, and nothing beats it. Nothing beats it.
I mean, honestly, a good horror movie doesn't really have to have a lot of gore in it.
No, it doesn't.
Like
it just has to have a damn good story and some pretty scary Cenobites in it.
And of course, that your stereotypical horror movie antagonist, with a giant machete, hockey mask, or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the antagonist on this film is the box.
Yeah.
You don't want to touch that shit. Just in case it starts to move the wrong way and you open up the gate to Cenobites and shit and they want to show you a good time.
A good time by ripping you to shreds.
Yeah, well, yeah. And yeah, no. Another one of my favorites is Ghost Ship. Not so much an old film like Hellraiser, because I mean it took a while for me to actually find a fairly decent horror film that would be on par with it.
Yeah.
And I even looked at the other Hellraisers and they didn't do that much for me because the special effects then started to get too CGI and crap.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. But yeah, Ghost Ship, because like hundreds of people get killed in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Which is freaky as fuck.
Yeah.
And even though Ghost Ship has a bit of gore in it, quite a fair bit of gore in it, and good special effects, the thing isn't actually really a horror film at all. It's more of a thriller drama type thing. But it's a good story, and it's not until the end that you click what's been going on and shit. And another one that is, I think is done by the same people, is 13 Ghosts. Now that, again, starts off like a horror film. It's like a mansion and shit, and then you find out that there's all these serial killers that are in these cells in the bottom of the mansion, and that there's this big clock in the mansion. It's all like time relative, and then they fuck about with the clock, and it opens up all the cages, so all these things are roaming around the bottom of the mansion and shit, killing people. It's a really, really, really good film.
Yeah.
But it's not so much a horror film, it's a thriller drama type thing.
Yeah.
Because it has good morals to it at the end and sacrifices and shit.
Yeah.
This is such a good film.
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
Another horror movie that I want to try watching sometime soon is A Quiet Place.
Okay, I've never heard that one.
So basically the premise is, it's really relevant at the beginning of the movie. A bunch of aliens come down, invade the entire planet, usual stuff.
Yeah.
But these aliens are so unique that they're basically blind, but they can hear everything around them. Like, if I snap my fingers or something like that, they would be able to hear me and gore my ass, basically.
Yeah.
So the entire movie takes place, like, say, 10 years after the invasion happened, and, humanity is in smaller numbers at this point. And it follows this family where they, they're doing their usual stuff. They're trying to keep quiet because they don't want to get eaten by the aliens.
They know about the aliens.
And they get by this handicap of sorts by doing sign language and all that.
Yeah.
And the family has a younger child who
Screams.
I wouldn't say is really, really young, but he's obviously not savvy to everything else as the family is. So they go into this store to, get supplies, and the child picks up this airplane, one of those like that.
Yeah.
And originally they take the battery out so, it doesn't make any noises.
Yeah.
But the sister of the child gives them back the battery for whatever reason. And they're making it back home. Then everything is, everything is silent except for them walking along back to their place. And the child activates the plane and makes all of his noise, and the father is desperately trying to run to save him, and the alien fucking kills the child.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Not the person that you would think first gets killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you think it's parents, and then the kids survive or something.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. That's like the Game of Thrones game that I played where the young lad got the knife through the neck. And I'm like, holy fuck. This is done by Telltales, and they usually do some family-friendly games, I think. I actually can't think of any because they do Walking Dead, which isn't really family-friendly. But this guy this young lad gets this dagger straight to his neck, and he's like, and I'm stunned.
Yeah.
It's not the person you think who's going to go.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be either the king, the soldiers, or anything like that. No, he was the king. But you know what I mean? You don't think it's going to happen to young kids. So in the film, you're thinking, yeah. And then it's like, whoa.
Holy crap.
You just tore shit out of the kid and not the parents or a soldier that's running to their aid and shit.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, this is a movie that basically doesn't fuck around.
Yeah, I guess. Kind of catches you unawares. Here's another one of my favourite films, and I think I saw it after Hellraiser.
Yeah.
It's an old film, Child's Play.
Oh, yeah, with Chucky.
That shit is fucked up. And we're talking about the first one.
Yeah.
The second one was scary as well because when you see what happened to the doll in the first one, and they're rebuilding him.
Yeah, I remember
in the
your phobia.
One and shit. Yeah, and it's like, but he's not a robot.
Yeah.
Although the doll has to have like the eyeballs rotate so they're on stick. So it has some sort of automated thing because it's battery operated. But you see the charred doll getting rebuilt and shit, and I don't know if it's in actually shop or no, a toy factory or a research lab that they're putting it together.
Yeah,
because they're trying to get him again and stuff like that. But yeah. Another one of my favourite films, Child's Play. Yeah. Probably a hidden gem to me because I was like, well, I don't know what this is all about. I heard about Hellraiser, but Child's Play, yeah. And it was a friend of mine, he rents videos off this guy with a van way back in the time.
Oh, man.
And he rented Child's Play and he goes, Sean, you want to see this? And I'm like, okay, really? He goes, yeah, it's you just borrow it and bring it back tomorrow. You don't have to, it's a free movie.
Yay,
like,
free stuff. That's always good.
Fuck it, why not? Let's have a look at it. And it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's scary as fuck, but it was so good. It wasn't scary like Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Hellraiser, really, I had to stick with it. But with Child's Play, I was like, I wanted more and more and more. And then he said, I got the second one tomorrow. And so I was like, cool, I'll go watch that. And then after that, the other ones like Chucky's Bride and shit. It's like, nah. And another one of the films that not so much my favorite, but it sticks out to me is Poltergeist, the original one.
Yeah.
Because the people that made it all died.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, all the people that were on set, the actors and actresses and stuff. Not all of them, but most of them died shortly after making the film.
God, yeah.
That kind
God
of
damn.
that kind of says a lot. You know, do you want to make this film? And it was all about like housing development that had been built on top of an Native American burial ground and stuff, and that it was sacred and shit. And you understand that, but there's like now it's made the spirits restless because they've built this shit on top of their burial ground, and all sorts of shit starts happening in some of the houses that are in that complex and shit. And you think, oh, okay, it's kind of cool. And I never really understood what a poltergeist was until I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, although it wasn't really scary, the whole idea of it being on a native thing was kind of a eerie element. Kind of goes back to the Russian buildings. Always Russian buildings. They have test subjects and shit like that. The native burial sites have hauntings and strange things going on because it's all sacred, and it's kind of I suppose it's a cliche type thing, or it's something like that.
I suppose
stereotypical type thing.
Yeah,
but Poltergeist was another good film.
Yeah,
another good film, classic. Poltergeist 2 wasn't too bad. It was good. It wasn't as good as the first one, but that lady carry on. It's like.
That reminds me. I haven't seen a lot of horror movies when I was younger. Like, this was around when I was 10 or 12, I think. So one of the movies that actually made me fear to go to sleep for the longest time is, I'm sure you'll laugh at me for this one, Wallace and Gromit and Curse of a Were-Rabbit.
Really?
Yes.
Why? Although you're 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, so
great stop motion.
Exactly. Yes.
Things.
Yes.
I mean, those guys are pinnacle of stop motion movies, and I think I remember watching them and Pixel. I think it's Pixel.
I don't think so.
Who is it that does the Toy Story and stuff like that?
You mean Pixar?
Pixar.
Not Pixel.
Pixar, yeah.
You're thinking of a shitty movie, Pixel.
I didn't even know there was one out there.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
So anyway, I can't really determine what exactly made me so scared, but one scene pops out in my mind is the cathedral scene. You remember that scene?
I've never seen it.
Okay. So the entire plot is basically Wallace and Gromit are running this business of catching rampant rabbits that are eating everybody's vegetables and shit.
Right.
And they decide to do this experiment of trying to deprive the rabbit's need to eat these vegetables or whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously something goes wrong. Nothing appears to happen to Wallace, the human character.
Yeah.
Gromit is
the dog.
Yeah. And, we don't know exactly what happened. There's some implications. Sorry, I cannot word right now. Implications of either of the rabbits or whatever. And the next scene is, it appears outdoors to the cathedral of this priest. He's like, do, setting stuff up. And it follows this first-person view of whatever character is, sneaking around the cathedral and whatnot. And the priest is like, we have all of this food. If you're hungry, feel free to eat. And then it goes back to the first person view of the character or whatever.
Yeah.
And he rears up to his full height, obviously taller than the priest.
Right.
And that's when the priest is like, oh crap. And he's trying to defend himself, but the creature or whatever swipes at him, and he jumps through the glass window that you usually see in churches and whatnot. And he decides to go on a I wouldn't say killing spree because he's basically eating a bunch of carrots or whatever. But he's basically going on a killing spree.
He's going on a carrot spree.
Yeah, he's going on a carrot spree. And then, the Wallace and Gromit crew have this failsafe where, they get these alarms.
Yeah.
And obviously everything's going down and Gromit is like, I don't want to deal with this shit. And the next day, they get a headline on the paper of
everything's been terrorized.
Yeah, everything's been terrorized. And they go to the cathedral, everybody's riled up, like, what the hell is going on and all that. And the priest is in a wheelchair at this point or whatever. And he does this sort of speech, and then he points to the glass window. The camera pans out, and there's this
sign of a rabbit.
This outline of this gigantic rabbit.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And so, what back in your early years made you scared of that?
I have no idea, but it was terrifying. Like, you didn't see what the creature looked like. You're through its first person view, and it was obviously pretty scary.
So you could leave it to it's your imagination that was really scaring yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were scaring yourself, not the film.
In the next sequence, Wallace and Gromit are setting up this elaborate scheme to draw out the were-rabbit, as they've titled it right now.
Right.
And they got this animatronic were-rabbit on top of their car or whatever.
Okay.
And they go through some shenanigans. The car goes through the tunnel. And obviously,
it takes it straight off.
Yeah, it takes it straight off. And Wallace is like, okay, I'm going to give the animatronic rabbit or whatever. And, Gromit is staying in the car doing whatever. And there's this eerie silence. And you don't hear Wallace or anything. And he's like honking the horn, trying to get him back inside. And, he's trying to relax him more. And can't remember exactly, but some things come crashing down, and Gromit sees something in the background. He activates the car to chase whatever the were-rabbit that's off screen.
Yeah.
And, he's trying to catch it. He uses the lasso on the were-rabbit.
Yeah.
And obviously the were-rabbit is stronger than his car.
Yeah, so he pulled him along.
Yeah, he pulls him along, digging tunnel down into the earth.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. And and the tunnel leads back to their house. And Wallace is there, is like, hey, what happened and all that stuff. And then Gromit is like following these footsteps that go into the basement where they keep the rabbits.
Yeah.
And they found this particular rabbit that's humanoid in appearance, whatever. So Wallace is like, good job, boy, you caught the were-rabbit. So, he's making this high-tech cage. He comes back out of the basement. He closes the door, but turns out that the footprints didn't end in the basement. And they kept going.
Shoot.
And he goes to Wallace's room, and there was carrots everywhere, indicating that Wallace is
the were-rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, that's kind of cool.
It had a very suspenseful atmosphere. If you watch it for yourself, you'll know what I mean.
Okay.
Just retelling it gives me chills right now.
I might have to look that one up, I think. So one of the best transformations in a film I've seen is a werewolf one. And you always see like the slow progressing thing. That kind of thing back in the earlier years. This one, I think it was a film called The Company of Wolves.
Yeah.
And the werewolf transformation was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because the muzzle busts through the skull, the whole head changes, the shoulders change, and it's not stop motion, it's not special, obviously it's special effects and shit.
Yeah.
But it was the way the head shaped into the wolf's face.
Yeah.
It completely broke the human skull type thing and kind of, oh man, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That was another one of those ones that I recorded and played back, rewind, play back, watched the transformation. But I never got sick of that. Not like the chest burster shit.
Yeah.
But
that was more cool.
Yeah, it was actually, because I was like, by that time I was old enough to appreciate what special effects are.
Yeah.
That a chest burster isn't real. Or anybody who loses a leg in a film isn't real unless you're actually watching a snuff movie or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really, really appreciated the whole special effects that these guys have worked on.
Yeah.
With this guy transforming into a werewolf.
Yeah.
And not your normal stupid werewolf. It was a
No.
fucking good werewolf. It was really a good werewolf. Probably, yeah, the best transformation I'd ever seen.
Yeah.